Hi, I am Ben Howes, and I am in the cybersecurity class at Gull High School. And today I'm going to be kind of presenting my incident report from our Cyber Patriot XV state round. My team made it into the gold division, and yeah, this is incident report I made for it. Title page. Here. This is our my team's Windows 10 incident report. So for references, we followed the instructions in the README file that was provided, as well as some other resources to get the highest score in our scoring report. So this is README, pretty standard for Cyber Patriot competitions. And then here's our scoring report. We didn't do the best, but I think it was still pretty good for what we what we know at the time. So our first big category is user management. User management allows administrators to organize and manage their users, as well as manage the resources that each user or group is allowed. This is important to make sure that certain users don't have access to things that they aren't supposed to, and that their accounts are secure. Yeah, so our first category in here is user accounts. So at 10:18 a.m., the user 2, who was an unauthorized user, was removed and all of their files were deleted from the network. This was done because the user was not on the provided list of authorized users, which is in the README, as you can see right here. She was not on that authorized users list. And unauthorized users on your system could access your company's information, as well as, I guess they could kind of mess around with whatever that user had access to, whatever they had whatever their privileges were allowed. Then at 11 a.m., the user O'Callahan was enabled. So what happened here was we saw that O'Callahan right here was on the authorized users list, but they were not on the network. Their user was not there when we checked. So we tried to make a new account for them, but it wouldn't let us use the username O'Callahan. So we dug a little further into it and realized that it could have been because the user was disabled, and that's what it ended up being. This user was on the list of authorized users, but when we looked, the user's account was disabled. So we made that change, just to make sure that that user can actually get onto the network and actually use their account. So our next little category is account types. At 10:41 a.m., the user account M Mayfield was changed from an admin account to a standard account, as this user was not on the list of admins that was provided. Admin accounts have higher privileges than standard accounts, so having the user M Mayfield as an admin would give them access to privileges that they weren't meant to have. This, obviously, you don't want somebody who's not supposed to have certain privileges to have them, because they could kind of wreak havoc on the network in ways that they're not supposed to. Next little category is user passwords. At 10:47 a.m., we added a password for the user. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this username, but this user did not previously have a password, which could allow anyone with just their username to get into their account and have access to company information, have access to the network, where if they were able to, could just kind of, what I said before, kind of wreak havoc on the network. At 10:49 a.m., we changed the password of the user S. Harrington. They previously had a very simple one-word password, which could easily be cracked just by brute force, and could put the system at putting your system at risk. It was especially important for this user S. Harrington to have a secure password because they were an admin, and admins get higher privileges than most users. So with those higher privileges, they could have access to more information, or they would be able to do potentially more bad things on the network if they were able to get into his account. My next big topic is policy management. Policy management is very important on a network because you need to make sure you have the right policy settings to make sure that everything is running and enforced as intended. Our next category is password management. At 10:52 a.m., the password policy was changed. We changed it so that the password history was set to 5 passwords, meaning that the user will have to change their password 5 different times before they can reuse an old password. We made it so that the maximum password age was set to 90 days, meaning that about every 3 months, users will have to reset their passwords. We set the minimum password length to 8, meaning that all passwords have to be 8 characters long. And we enabled password must meet complexity requirements. Excuse me. Meaning that user passwords have to be complex. Password is your first line of defense from unauthorized users getting on your network. And all of these policies will help to ensure that the users have secure passwords, protecting their accounts from brute force attacks. At 11:15 a.m., we changed the account lockout threshold. I really apologize. The account lockout threshold to 5 invalid login attempts. That means after 5 incorrect attempts, the user will be prevented from logging in for a set amount of time. This will also help to prevent brute force attacks, because if they keep trying more than 5 invalid login attempts, they won't be able to put in any more passwords. Our next little category is auditing. It is very important to monitor the activity that goes on your network so that you can catch any unauthorized or sketchy activity that is happening. At 11:17 a.m., we changed the audit management policy from having none to auditing both successes and failures. This means that all the users on your network follow the other management. This will check that all the users on your network follow the other management policies that have been set. Obviously important that they do follow those. Excuse me. It is obviously really important that they follow all of those policies that have been set, because they've been set for a reason. Next little subcategory is firewall. Firewalls are a very simple way to protect your network. A firewall will filter out all of the unnecessary network traffic that is trying to get into your computer or your network. Though it is a very easy thing to activate, it is very important to protecting a network. At 11:21 a.m., we activated the firewall, putting a blocker on your network, making sure that traffic that was unnecessary doesn't get on your network. Then we have services right here. At 11:12 a.m., we allowed the group remote interactive logon to access remote desktop services. This means that anyone who has been put in that group is able to log in and connect to the network with their own device, while any others will not be able to. if it is very important to make sure that not anyone is able to get on your network. So most of the time we would turn off remote desktop services unless it was requested to keep them on. But as these users were required to have access to it, we made sure that only them had access to this service. Our next big topic would be software application management. It is important to make sure that all of the software on your network is authorized and updated. Making sure that all the software is authorized makes make sure that your users are staying on task during work and that they aren't able to use hacking tools that might be on these software applications. Keeping all of your applications on the latest update is also important to make sure that bugs are fixed and that it has the best protection for your system. Updating software applications. At 12:02 p.m., we updated Firefox to the version 54.0.1 to version 107.0.1. This took multiple updates, but we got it to the latest version. Throughout our updates, there were fixes to the user interface, making it better experience for your users, and there were multiple bug fixes that helped with stability, private browsing, color management, an overlapping text problem that they had, and dev tools. At 12:17 p.m. we updated Thunderbird from version 102.0.3 to version 102.5.1, which changed mail extension API updates and had various security fixes as well. At 12:23 p.m. we updated GIMP from version 2.10.24 to version 2.10.32. This update didn't have many security benefits, but it did improve the AVIF imports, which will make it a better experience for your users. At 12:35 p.m. we updated Tile from version 1.8.2 to version 1.9.2. And we also updated at 1 p.m. we updated the Windows system. These were all, of course, authorized software applications, or else they would be in this next category, unauthorized software management. At 12:11 p.m., the unauthorized application team viewer was removed from your system. It is very important to make sure that there are no software applications on your system that are unauthorized, as they could allow users to hack into your network or access something that they are unauthorized to have. We uninstalled the application and removed the files from your system. Gonna take that off there. Just making sure that obviously they couldn't get access to this anymore, and that the application was completely removed from any devices. So that was my Cyber Patriot CPXV Stay Around incident report. Thank you so much for watching.